Have you ever wondered what would happen if you stopped announcing your every move to the world? In an age where everyone feels the need to broadcast their lives, every achievement, every opinion, every step forward, silence has become a rare and powerful act. Social media has turned life into a performance, where success is measured in applause and attention. But the Stoics knew better. True power does not scream. It moves quietly, steadily, with purpose. You don't need an audience to grow. You don't need applause to evolve. Your greatest victories are often the ones no one sees, forged in solitude, shaped by discipline, and built far away from the noise. This video is not about motivation. It's about transformation, the quiet kind. We'll explore why silence is not weakness, but strength, why privacy is not secrecy, but wisdom, and why your most powerful progress happens when no one is watching. Stay with me, and you may just discover that your silence is not empty, but full of power. Chapter 1. Why Silence is Strength. Picture two warriors preparing for battle. One makes loud boasts, proclaiming victory before a single blow is struck. The other sharpens his blade in silence, letting his actions speak in due time. When the dust settles, it is not the loudest who stands tall, but the most focused. Silence is strength because it clears the path of distraction. When you speak of your goals too soon, you invite noise, opinions, doubts, and expectations. Even well-meaning advice can cloud your clarity. The Stoics taught us to protect what lies within our control, our effort, our choices, and our discipline, not the approval or disapproval of others. Every time you share your vision prematurely, you risk letting outside voices shape your internal resolve. And not everyone who listens truly wishes you well. Some will envy, others may subtly discourage. The fewer who know your path, the freer you are to walk it without resistance. Words can create the illusion of progress. Talking about your dreams might trick your mind into feeling you've already moved forward. But real progress is built in the quiet hours when no one is watching. It is built in discipline, repetition, and solitude. Silence preserves your energy. Every explanation you give, every justification you offer, drains focus from the work that truly matters. The more private your journey, the fewer expectations you carry, and the more freedom you gain to move at your own pace, not one imposed by others. In a world obsessed with broadcasting every step, secrecy is a forgotten art. But those who master it gain an unmatched advantage. They protect the purity of their vision. They build without interference. And when the time comes, they let results speak with undeniable clarity. A tree does not announce its growth underground. A river does not boast before it cuts through stone. Let your progress be the same, silent, steady, and unstoppable. Speak less, move more, master yourself quietly, and when success arrives, let those who once questioned you watch from a distance, unaware of the fire that forged you in silence. Chapter 2. Breaking Free. Focus on yourself. Many people live as performers on a stage they never chose, chasing applause they never needed. They crave recognition, approval, validation, hoping others will notice their progress and crown their efforts with praise. But applause is fleeting. It fades quickly, and often it was never genuine to begin with. When your confidence depends on others' approval, it becomes fragile, easily shattered when attention shifts or opinions change. The Stoics warned against this. Epictetus once said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." because true growth isn't always visible, and often it's misunderstood. Why should someone else's opinion define your worth? Why let external perception dictate your inner peace? The truth is, most people are far too caught up in their own struggles to truly care about yours. And when they do pay attention, it is often through a lens of comparison, insecurity, or envy. Seeking validation is a dangerous trap. It turns your focus outward when your energy should be directed inward. Instead of measuring your success by how far you've come, you start measuring it by how loud others clap. You become dependent on praise and afraid of criticism. This isn't self-mastery, it's self-abandonment. The only validation that matters is your own. You must become your own standard, your own judge, your own source of motivation. Define success by how much you've grown internally, not how many people recognize it externally. If you live for applause, you will always perform. But if you live for purpose, you will evolve. Freedom begins when you stop seeking approval. When you detach from others' opinions, you reclaim your energy, your focus, and your independence. You no longer bend to fit expectations. You value silence over spectacle, substance over image, discipline over display. No one is coming to cheer you on at every step. No one will carry you to the finish line. And that's not a tragedy, it's a gift, because it means your path is fully yours. Your growth, your pace, your victories, they belong to you. Celebrate quietly, progress in silence. Let your satisfaction come from within, and you'll never need applause again. Chapter 3. Privacy is power. There's an old saying, move in silence. Only speak when it's time to say checkmate. When you keep your plans private, you retain control. No one can interfere, sabotage, or plant doubt if they don't know what you're building. Silence shields your vision, allowing you to work with unwavering focus, untouched by noise and free from unnecessary scrutiny. Privacy isn't secrecy rooted in fear. It's strategy born from wisdom. It protects your energy, your momentum, and your peace. The moment you share your ambitions too soon, you expose them to opinions, many of which are unhelpful, and some even harmful. Doubt, envy, or projection from others can create obstacles that didn't exist until their voices entered your mind. People are naturally curious, and curiosity often carries envy with it. When they see you working silently towards something meaningful, they are confronted by their own inaction. Rather than be inspired, some will criticize, question, or undermine, not because of your path, but because of their own. The most powerful builders of success know, the less the world sees, the stronger you become. Keeping your goals private gives you the freedom to adapt, evolve, and make mistakes without public pressure. You're not performing, you're progressing, and progress is most pure when it's protected. When you win in silence, your results emerge without noise, without need for explanation. They speak for themselves, undeniable, solid, and earned. By then, those who doubted or ignored you will be left wondering how you built something so real without ever broadcasting a word. Your dreams are sacred. Guard them like a fortress. Every move made in silence strengthens your position. Privacy eliminates distractions and shields you from premature criticism. It allows you to work with clarity, not for attention, but for mastery. True confidence doesn't need to announce itself. It doesn't shout for recognition. It walks quietly and commands respect through presence alone. The most powerful people don't explain their worth. They live it. They lead not with noise, but with substance. Let your progress be the quiet force that cannot be denied. Humble, disciplined, and unshakable. Let your success be so complete that the world can't ignore it, even if they never saw it coming. Chapter 4. The Art of Being Unseen. A wise man once said, "Be like the night, silent, mysterious, and powerful. The less people know about you, the less they can control, critique, or contain." In silence you gain a subtle kind of power, not through force, but through unpredictability. When no one knows your next move, they cannot prepare for it. And in that uncertainty, you hold the advantage. People are naturally curious, but curiosity often carries envy in disguise. They observe you not always to support, but to compare, to compete, to judge. The more you reveal, the more they analyze. The less you say, the more they wonder. And wonder gives birth to speculation, fascination, even respect. Remaining unseen doesn't mean hiding. It means protecting. When you don't explain, justify, or perform for attention, you force others to reckon with your silence. Their assumptions speak louder than your words ever could. In that mystery, you become untouchable. Not because you're invisible, but because you're unknowable. True power does not broadcast itself. It builds quietly, like a storm forming just beyond the horizon. Those who seek applause before their work is finished rob themselves of real mastery. But those who understand restraint let their results speak with thunder when the time is right. Greatness is born in solitude. The tallest trees grow silently, their roots deepening long before they break the surface. The strongest warriors train in stillness, mastering technique in the dark before stepping into the light. So too must you build, privately, steadily, without the weight of validation. Let them wonder. Let them speculate. And when the moment arrives, let your success speak with such force that no explanation is needed. By then, the foundation will already be unshakable. Resist the need to be seen. Let go of comparison, for it is the thief of joy and the source of distraction. Your journey is yours alone. No one else carries your burdens, faces your battles, or walks your path. So why measure it against theirs? Focus inward. Let your energy flow into progress, not performance. Master your craft, your mind, your discipline. Influence not by noise, but by presence. That is quiet dominance, and it speaks louder than anything else ever could. Chapter 5. Humility attracts greatness. The universe has a way of rewarding those who remain grounded. When you pursue excellence not for applause, but for the sake of growth itself, you align with a higher path. Humility is not weakness, it is strength restrained, ego surrendered, and purpose made pure. The Stoics valued humility because it frees you from illusion. It reminds you that greatness is not something to be flaunted, but something to be lived. To win in silence is the highest expression of humility. It means your actions are not dictated by the need to be seen, but by the desire to become. You move not for validation, but for transformation. You succeed not for others to notice, but to honor your own potential. That is true power, to evolve without seeking recognition. Those who are humble do not advertise their worth. They prove it through quiet consistency, through relentless effort behind closed doors. They are not swayed by praise, nor broken by criticism, because their motivation is internal. Their focus is personal excellence, not public perception. The more you detach from the need to be admired, the more unstoppable you become. No longer bound by others' expectations, you gain clarity, freedom, and inner strength. Your progress becomes yours alone, real, lasting, and unshakable. Humility does not diminish your achievements, it magnifies their meaning. It keeps your ego in check and your mind on what truly matters: the work, the discipline, the refinement. The truly great, those who reach the heights of mastery, are not seeking followers. They are too focused on building, on learning, on evolving. When you stop chasing validation, you start chasing truth. You begin to see that the struggle, the solitude, and the unseen hours are not setbacks. They are sacred. They are where greatness is forged. Let your success be a quiet force. Do not waste your energy trying to impress the world. Impress yourself. Make your reflection proud. Your true measure is not how loudly you're applauded, but how deeply you're committed. Especially when no one is watching. Because in the end, greatness built in silence becomes undeniable. Not because it demands recognition, but because it leaves a mark too strong to be ignored. Chapter 6. The long-term rewards of quiet success. Winning in silence is not a tactic, it's a long-term philosophy. While others exhaust themselves chasing attention, you are quietly building something real, something lasting. Your success is not a performance. It is a reality, crafted with discipline, forged in solitude, and rooted in purpose. The moment you release yourself from the grip of external validation, you gain something far greater: freedom. You are no longer performing for applause. You are refining your craft without pressure, without noise. While the world showcases half-finished efforts for quick praise, you commit to mastery behind the scenes. The Stoics reminded us that what is external is fleeting. Fame, applause, status, all of it fades. But what is internal, discipline, wisdom, character, endures. When your focus shifts from appearing successful to becoming excellent, you create something unshakable. True success is not an overnight spark. It is a slow, steady flame. It is born from countless invisible hours, from quiet resilience, from relentless progress without recognition. And because it is not built on shallow praise, it does not collapse when praise disappears. Quiet success brings peace. You move without scrutiny. You grow without judgment. You build without the burden of explanation. Every setback, every step forward becomes meaningful because it's for you, not for show. You stop chasing attention and start living in alignment with your highest self. In time, your results will speak so clearly that no words are needed. The world may eventually take notice, but by then, it will only be witnessing what has long been finished. While others were chasing the spotlight, you were building a foundation too strong to be shaken. True greatness does not crave recognition. It is content in becoming. It is driven by self-respect, not applause. When you focus entirely on excellence, refining your skills, sharpening your mind, and mastering your emotions, validation becomes irrelevant. So build in silence. Let your work speak. Let your growth be your loudest voice. Forge a success so rooted in discipline and resilience that nothing, no failure, no criticism, no delay can shake it. The world does not give greatness. It simply has no choice but to acknowledge it when it can no longer be ignored. Chapter 7. The Hidden Strength of Self-Control. Self-control is the silent foundation of power. It is the invisible armor that protects your progress, your peace, and your purpose. The Stoics knew that true strength does not lie in dominating others. It lies in mastering oneself. To stay calm under pressure, to act with intention rather than impulse, and to remain unmoved in the face of chaos, this is the mark of the truly powerful. In a world addicted to instant gratification, self-control is rare. It allows you to resist distractions, delay temporary pleasures, and maintain your focus when everything around you is designed to pull you off course. Winning in silence requires this discipline. It means doing the work when no one is watching, staying consistent without applause, progressing even when recognition is absent. Emotional discipline is not a gift, it is a skill, one that is trained, tested, and earned. Every challenge to your patience is an opportunity to grow. When you react impulsively, you hand over your power. But when you pause, reflect, and respond with purpose, you reclaim control over your mind. The Stoics taught that true mastery begins within. The ability to resist ego, anger, fear, and frustration is what sets the strong apart from the weak. Power is not found in noise, but in calm, not in fury, but in focus. Practice mindfulness. Observe your emotions without obeying them. Remember, feelings are fleeting, but discipline endures. Self-control also fuels delayed gratification, the ability to say no to what's easy now in order to say yes to what's great later. Every time you choose patience over impulse, you strengthen your character. You train your mind to value substance over stimulation, purpose over pleasure. Lasting success is built slowly, often invisibly, until it becomes undeniable. Resilience is the companion of self-control. It is the ability to endure failure without losing direction, to adapt under pressure, and to remain composed when others crumble. Mental resilience is forged through struggle, sharpened by trials, and anchored by discipline. The most powerful individuals are not immune to hardship. They are simply unshaken by it. Master the art of restraint. Build the habit of stillness, and you will discover a power far greater than control over others, the rare and hidden strength of mastering yourself. Chapter 8. Detaching from ego and embracing purpose. Ego is the greatest enemy of silent success. The moment you begin to crave validation, your focus shifts from mastery to approval, from substance to appearance. The Stoics, like Epictetus and Seneca, warned against the illusions of ego. They knew that arrogance blinds us to our flaws and makes us brittle under pressure. But humility, rooted in purpose, is the foundation of true and lasting strength. When you detach from ego, you free yourself from the exhausting need to prove anything to anyone. You work for excellence, not applause. You build for legacy, not recognition. And in doing so, you gain clarity, direction, and peace, the kind that only comes from pursuing something greater than yourself. Let your work speak for itself. Praise, like criticism, is fleeting. Both are shaped more by the insecurities of others than by the truth of who you are. If you shape your path based on outside perception, you'll forever be shifting, chasing approval instead of progress. But when you commit deeply to your craft, without the need for recognition, you create something powerful, pure, and enduring. True growth begins the moment you embrace humility. Humility is not self-doubt, it is self-awareness. It is the understanding that no matter how much you've achieved, there is still more to learn, more to refine. The greatest minds in history remained students until the end, not because they lacked confidence, but because they valued wisdom more than ego. When you let go of the belief that you've arrived, you keep moving. You stay open to insight, correction, and challenge. You adapt, you improve, and you evolve beyond those who believe they already know it all. Ego whispers that you are above learning, but humility reminds you that mastery is a lifelong path. The quiet learner, the one who listens, who adjusts, who refines in silence, eventually surpasses even the loudest voices in the room. Detach from ego. Embrace purpose. Build not for attention, but for excellence. The world may not notice right away, but when it does, it will be because your results left no room for doubt. Chapter 9. Why silence attracts the right people. When you choose to live and win in silence, something powerful happens. You begin to filter the people around you, not by effort, but by energy. The wrong people are drawn to noise, attention, and surface-level status. But the right ones, they're drawn to depth, discipline, and authenticity. They recognize effort over exhibition, substance over show. Silence naturally repels those who only admire results without understanding the work behind them. When you keep your ambitions private, you attract those who value character, not clout. You form relationships rooted in truth, not in admiration, but in alignment. These are the people who grow with you, not just cheer for you when you shine. Pay attention to who stays when you stop broadcasting your success. The people who remain when there's no performance to applaud are the ones worth keeping. Build connections based on mutual growth, shared values, and quiet respect. You don't owe access to your journey to everyone. In fact, most people are not equipped to carry the weight of your vision. Every interaction demands energy, and the more you give away access to your inner world, the more vulnerable your focus becomes. Not all curiosity is supportive. Some observe to compare, some listen to judge, and some follow not to uplift, but to drain. Guard your focus like a sacred flame. Be selective with who you allow into your space, not out of arrogance, but out of wisdom. Protect your mission as you would protect your time. Share your path only with those who walk with purpose of their own, not with those who seek to stand in your light without earning their own. Your journey is personal. It's not meant to be a performance. It is a sacred process of becoming, and it deserves to be protected. When you keep it private, you preserve its purity. You give yourself room to grow without the noise, the judgment, or the weight of expectation. Silence not only strengthens your path, it filters your circle. Let your quiet effort attract the ones who truly see you, not for what you show, but for who you are becoming. Chapter 10. The Power of Letting Them Watch. At the end of your journey, those who doubted, ignored, or underestimated you will be forced to watch, not because you sought their attention, but because your success became impossible to ignore. And by then, their opinion to war won't matter. You didn't build for them. You built for yourself. That's the beauty of winning in silence. Your results speak when you no longer have to. The applause you never asked for comes only after the work is done. Not as validation, but as confirmation. The goal was never to prove others wrong. That's ego. The goal is to prove yourself right, that you are capable, disciplined, and worthy of everything you've earned. When you stop chasing recognition and start chasing mastery, you unlock a deeper purpose. You're no longer reacting to the world. You're building something real, steady, and lasting. But even in victory, stay grounded. Mastery has no end. Every milestone is just the beginning of a new level. The truly great never settle, not because they are ungrateful, but because they know they are capable of more. So let them watch, let them wonder, and while they talk, keep working, because your legacy won't be built in noise. It will be built in silence and revealed in strength. The Stoics taught that true mastery begins within, not through recognition, but through quiet growth, inner discipline, and the courage to keep going when no one is watching. Win in silence, let them watch. But most importantly, stay the path. Because in the end, the only person you truly need to impress is yourself. Comment, "Silence is strength," and if this message resonated with you, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Your journey is far from over. The next step could change everything. Stay focused.